talk about it being that persistent world. What I find interesting in the playtime I've had with it is that it's not just me being persistent. Like you said, you know, it all comes back, it all flows back to you.
Exactly.
But it's constantly, even if I left for a month, my whole army is going to be changing. Do you want to talk about overall factions that are in this game?
So I mean, it's not a persistent world in the sense you can walk to one end of the world to the other, and you gotta, you know, go kill a bunch of monsters and have them craft yourself a new assault rifle. But it's persistence in the sense that every game mode that we have has an ongoing tournament. In the fiction of the game, the world's about 20 years in the future. Governments are no longer able to field their militaries overseas. You know, we look at what's going on with current events, a lot of political pressure against deploying your troops abroad, and we're running out of fuel resources, so it's getting too expensive. So they've relied on the private armies, these three factions in the game, which are Sever, Raven, and Valor. Now these are all PMCs, kind of like Blackwater, who make their money by executing operations for world governments. But the money behind that has become just incredibly lucrative. So now they've gotten to the point where in order to compete with each other, they're actually striking at each other's home bases. So every game mode is an ongoing tournament. If CJ's playing as a Raven assault guy right now, if they manage to win this battle for their team, they're going to move a little bit ahead in that ongoing tournament. Sever, their opponents, are going to lose a little bit of world standing, and if that goes on enough, then his team's going to gain government contracts, which will, in the fiction of the game, obviously are worth a lot of money, but in game terms, next time he plays on this, he's going to have a little bit better experience gain. His commandos are going to have a quicker respawn time and their abilities, so it works out to kind of in-game benefits to their actions.
Now, obviously we're looking at this from an FPS perspective, but
Sure.
I also saw a tank earlier. Are you able to enter those vehicles, and if so, like, how many vehicles are in the game?
Yeah, so all the vehicles in MAG are built on...
Kind of like what we're doing right now, as I say
Yep,
it.
exactly.
Like a well-oiled machine.
That was
Jessica.
well done.
Unfortunately, it just got blown up. But that was that was an armored personnel carrier, an APC assigned to a squad. Just for the record, I want to clarify that CJ is invulnerable. So even though he's good, he's not as good as he looks.
You're a cheater. You are a bloody cheater, CJ.
So that APC is assigned to a squad. Anytime one of his squad mates die, he'll spawn in it. We've also got helicopters that the squad spawns in, airborne drop planes that will drop in parachuters. All these things are to support the squad and get the squad into the heart of the battle quickly.
Awesome. All right, well, we're kind of coming short down on time. Anything that you want to say before we head out?
It's a lot of fun. This game that we're looking at right now is actually, it's a live 256 players. CJ, if you can really quickly get into the CNI, we'll show them the scale we're looking at. He's been battling this area on the bottom of the screen. If you pan it back and look around, that'll show all 4 platoons all pulling into the center. All the blue dots are real players playing up in Seattle at our home studio, down in Foster City, and in San Diego as well. So it's coming out this fall, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We look forward to having you in there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
very
thanks so much,
impressive.
Jessica.
It looks very, very impressive, actually. Don't pack up just yet. We've been saving the best for last. Stay tuned to find out what's next.